Now we're changing gears a little bit to talk about square roots, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. And the basic idea behind this is because we're going to get into some graphing where square roots are involved, and just want to make sure that we understand what we're talking about here. Now, the basic idea of a square root is it's somehow the opposite of squaring a number or somehow undoing a number. Um, so we know that when you square 5, you get 25. So that means that to undo 25 should get you back to 5. And sure enough, the square root of 25 is 5. And so that's what's meant by square root is what squared equals this. So the square root of 121 should be 11 because 11 squared gets you 121. Now it comes to a fraction, the square root of 1/16th. We can just basically take the square root of the top and the square root of the bottom separate. The square root of 1 is 1, and the square root of 16 is 4. Now, if I have the negative of the square root of 64, we could basically think about this without the negative at first. The answer to that is 8, and then we apply the negative. And so the answer to this is, in fact, negative 8. Whereas this last example, square root negative 64, is trying to say what number times itself gets you negative 64. And if you have a positive times a positive, that's a positive. A negative times a negative is also a positive. So there's no real number that when you multiply by itself is going to equal a negative number. So we are going to say not real. Now to be picky here, I do got to specify that there is an answer. So we don't want to say that there's no solution to this. We're going to get to that later on in this course what it is, but it's not a real number. It's actually what we call an imaginary number. But we'll get to that later.